Well, Governor Brown is pushing to close down the state's troubled juvenile prison system for good. But some Bay Area counties are already taking matters into their own hands and dealing with juvenile offenders before they become violent repeat criminals. Tonight, a closer look at the South Bay teens being sentenced by a jury of their peers.
All rise.
2 words that silence a courtroom when a defendant faces a jury of his peers.
Juror 10.
And in this case, it's a teenager who really is facing his peers.
The peer courts of Santa Clara County in session.
In this county, teenagers have volunteered to stand before teenage defendants who must explain what they did and why.
It was almost like a mock trial, but it was exactly how they would have done it had they been doing it live. Kids in the jury box, kids forming the roles of prosecutor and defender and even bailiff.
County Supervisor Dave Cortese says the need for a new approach to dealing with juvenile crime in the Valley was pretty apparent, beginning a couple of years ago.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
This peer court is only a couple months old, but it's modeled after similar programs in other Bay Area cities.
What do you think a good sentence would be? It's very interesting. How would you make amends for this? Clean graffiti, do community service?
To get here, defendants have already pleaded guilty to their nonviolent crimes, such as underage drinking and graffiti. Most are first-time offenders.
The first time they see us, they're kind of intimidated since we're up there, and we are, in a way, slightly looking down on them from where we are. I think once we give them their sentencing and their community service hours, that they realize that we do understand what they're going through.
Yes.
Backers of the program say that is arguably the most important lesson from this court.
Yes.
The hope is it reduces repeat offenders as much as 97%.
Members of the jury.
Adults who volunteer their time as well believe the program reaches beyond the kids who are already in trouble.
Juvenile court is an opportunity court. It shouldn't be seen as a punishment court. It's an opportunity to take kids who have had a slight transgression. We've all had these things happen to us in our childhood, but we were able to bounce back and lead productive lives.
Or maybe get kids to ask questions of themselves before they end up here.
It kind of changes your way of thinking, like, it's what you do in everyday life, too. Like, when you're, like, hanging out with your friends, like, is this right? Like, would this get me in trouble?
Now, we purposely did not show any of the defendants' faces. Everyone you saw was a volunteer member of the court. Admittedly, Supervisor Cortese says they have found the peer court system works best with first-time offenders. If you have a story idea, log on to cbssf.com, click connect, then scroll down a closer look, send us an email.